Welcome back to another video here on the channel. We're playing Satisfactory, and in the last episode we left off with the very first attempt at what the second floor is going to look like in our factory. So don't forget, the first floor is going to be all of the smelters, second floor will be all of the constructors, and so on and so forth, and we'll figure out little rooms to tackle each type of basic project for now in this starter factory of ours. A couple of things I want to get. Hopefully we've got a decent amount of concrete stored up so that we can start a zoopin. That's a relatively decent amount, I should say. And let's have a way to get up and down relatively easy. Ladders are so useful. And I want to just plan out this first one, and we'll do this for iron plates. I think we'll do 2 iron plates and then an iron rod and screws setup as our go-tos here. So if I'm looking at, and it's not going to be that big, but if I'm looking at this, I want, for example, a basic wall. Okay, let's actually think about this logistically before we jump into that right off the bat. If I have 120 iron ingots coming in and a constructor for iron plates, it's 30 to 20. So we need 4 constructors to tackle that. And I like doing the so I'm thinking we'll do a splitter here. Okay. And right now I'm just using Mark 1 belts for everything, but it absolutely will not be a Mark 1 belt. And I like that the constructors are fed like so. So look at this lighting. Holy cow. Okay. And then they're going to merge together because we could actually fit all of those on one line. So we'll merge them this way. And it's kind of like what we did down there in our temporary setup. And then like so. And so if we do Mark 1s here, Mark 1s. Okay. That is definitely not lined up. So this could actually, so this can be 20, 40, which can fit onto this belt, plus an additional 20, 40. So this output has to be a Mark II. But we will use a splitter here. There. And then we'll bring this all the way to there. And now that is our first shell of a room. So I left this area as a walkway, which is exactly what I wanted. And so what we're going to do, and we're not really ever going to be down in this, like we shouldn't be walking in this area as often because we should have a catwalk up above. Okay. So there's that. And now with this being completed, we can do a conveyor wall here. conveyor wall like so. And now we have ourselves the first room. And so we'll just make that a Mark II, even though we haven't switched anything else to Mark II just yet. So that is kind of what I had in mind for the rooms. Now, what we do with this material coming out, because we're going to have a new material coming in, I'm kind of thinking we push that out to the outside so that it comes like so. And we run those along the outside. For the outside, I might leave 2. So we have a total of 6 potential belts that could be coming out. Do I like that? I think I do. And then, so the next room would basically start right here. And so we would have a belt come through like that. And then we would repeat. So here, let's say we're doing iron rods. Like some of these are going to be bigger rooms, you know, because of the layout. So if we're doing iron rods, right, it's 15, and we're bringing 120 over. So 120 divided by 15 is 8 constructors. So still, we can do the splitting method. Okay. And then we would do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to run into a problem. I can already tell you right now. Just with my logic in some of this. But I'll explain when we get there. Because how many do these spit out? 15, 15. Okay, so it's actually okay for this one, but we'll talk about it for the next one, for screws. The screws spit out substantially more than than the material they take in. Okay, so 15, we can combine all of these, actually, for a 120 line. And you can use Mark 1s on the sides. Mark 2s and the centers. Probably not needed for every instance, but like for example here to here, that's 30, that's 60. So technically here to here is fine, and then after that it has to be a Mark II. Okay, so those are more or less set up. We're going to do additional splitters. 2, 3, and then all of these are Mark 1s. And since this gets split 60-60, all of these can be Mark 1s. And then here, we're going to do the exact same thing. So you get the idea of what I'm talking about. And this is just going to be a clean starter factory, but really when we start getting into mega factory, it's a little bit different of a conversation. But I do like this segregated individual room look. Obviously we definitely don't need the walls, but I think it's super cool to have like the additional walls and stuff like this. Yep. So as you could see, like, we're basically just building out a lot of what we had before, but just, okay. Like what we have downstairs, but we're building it out here to separate everything out and make it super easy to navigate. So like, I know that's iron plates, this is iron rods, this next one's going to be screws. Like, that's basically what we're looking to accomplish here. You know, and could take this to here, and we know that that's going to be producing that. And then I'll get one of the things we'll work on also probably next is wall power, because I like the way that that works, and you don't have to deal with the additional concerns of putting down power poles in the middle of your base. So this is where we're going to get a little tricky, I think, because we need to build this, but then we also need to build a giant output of what this is going to be. So screws are going to be they're always a problem, is the basic. So we know that we basically have to build this exact same thing again. Okay, so logistics, splitter, there. And then we're building 1, 2, 3, 4 constructors. And then same thing on this side, although I don't like how far that one was hanging over. Oh, and we have just run out of cable. Okay, so we're gonna take, we're just gonna grab a whole bunch of materials here because we're gonna run out of stuff. I figured cable was gonna be on a backstock. That's great. We'll grab some wire because we'll probably need that as well. Definitely some iron plates and definitely some concrete. Oh man, iron plates are just stacking up. I should definitely check power soon because I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to go out. Our outposts haven't gone out yet. We haven't heard the circuit break out there yet. So once we set up these, okay, that was actually like, I was not expecting it to be that close. So that's 2. Yeah, so screws is going to be a beefy little build. And again, we could still just get these all into one. I should put some of this stuff on the hotbar. So now that you can put it on the hotbar and then you still can just yeah, 15, 15. So this I think is actually that can remain a tier 1. It's this one that needs to be a tier 2 or mark 2. And then that, and then we want our conveyor wall right here. Nope, actually we don't. That is a lie, because it's not exactly the same as the previous build. because we're going to have to build some screws. We need our path to walk. So we can just use Mark 1s all the way through here, because this is a 60 line. That's a 60 line. We don't need this one. Okay, so those are set up. And so now we're getting, okay, so we're getting 120. Yep, so 120 iron rods per minute. And now screws. Take 10 and turn it into 40. This is where shit gets annoying. Because we have, so basically we turn this into 12 constructors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can use a splitter here to split this one line all the way down. But that's not where the problem's going to come in. Okay, not what I meant to do, but that look kind of cool. Okay, so this is going to be a Mark II because that's so this is going to go 30. No. It's going to go 40, 40, 40. So yeah, we can use Mark 1s from here on out. This is not load balanced where it's a direct ratio that's going to start. Eventually this will be perfectly balanced. It's called an overflow method. Is this right? So it's gonna, if it splits into 3, so it's 40, 40, 40. Yeah, so that should be fine. Okay, now here's where the real problem comes in. Each of these spits out 40 screws. So 40 screws means 3 of them can go on one Mark II line. And that means we're getting 4 lines out of this. So my immediate thought is we do 2 like that, 2 like that for the output. So we're going to get 2 lines coming in this way, 2 lines coming in this way, and then we'll have 4 lines coming out that way of screws alone. Screws are always a damn problem. Now, we should be able to okay, actually this is the one that we would do it on. So that's already 80. So now we wouldn't actually be able to do I'll mark one line here anymore. So that's our mark 2. And actually I already messed this up. And I'll show you why I messed it up. Should start with the front to the back. Because we want this line to be the one on the inside, and we want the other one to pass it. Okay, and so then this is going to be our first that's our first mark 1, or that's our first line. And then this one is, we've got to get it towards the outside there, but also, I hate, there's like something with the clearance here that's a little bit weird, so maybe we'll just do something that I'm not quite a fan of, but it might be actually prettier in the end. Did I not put the right things on here? What are these? That's mergers, right? Oh, okay. It was just not aligned correctly. Is this one also not aligned correctly? Let's just fix it just in case. Okay, and so we'll do that. See, like, I actually really want this to be here. Yep. And that's good. And if you snap that like that, that should be the correct angle to do that. Okay. And so that's 2 of the 4 lines done. We should still be able to get a wall in here. Okay. Alright, and then we just repeat that over here. And so the reason I did the, I'm sure you could tell, but the reason why I did the mergers so close is so that I can squeeze the other line in. It's like one of those things, you kind of get used to it after a while, like you're just like, oh, okay, I got this. Well, sorry if I'm not talking as much also, because, you know, it's one of those things where you're kind of concentrating, making sure you don't make a mistake, because inevitably you come back later and you're like, why is this machine not working? And it's like, oh, well, it's all frickin' turned around backwards or some crap, you know? Yep, this is perfect. And then usually, I'll explain what I was just about to say there here in a moment. Standing on conveyor belts is hard. Okay, so usually if you line up this with where the curve is here and extend it, you're going to have a perfect right angle alongside the other one. And so look at the size of this frickin' screw factory here. Look at that. And that's just from one input. So, a little insane. This is going to look so clean though. I mean, I already think it looks pretty clean, but of course. We're just going to delete that and make it look like it did extend all the way. And that's going to have to be a tier 3 belt, or a tier 2 belt, but look at that. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Not bad. Iron plates, iron rods, and screws. And that's a shit ton of screws. More than enough. So I'm inclined to use one of those other belts over here for another iron plate factory before I... actually, I can just do another iron plate factory over here. That's probably what I'll do. Because, like, look at that. That's 4 constructors. Like, that's nothing. Probably should have dismantled that when I was not on top of it. But whatever. We'll leave 2... We'll leave a 2 foundation gap here because this one is a little outrageous. We'll just have it look nice and cool like that as well. I think also this is, yep, if you get it to this line, that'll get you on that outside. Great. And then this is here, I believe, is exactly what we want. And that's that. Is this one straight? It is not. And that's going to be 4 lines of screws. And that's 4 120 lines of screws. From one 120 line of iron. And let's just finish out the iron, the last iron piece here, because like I think that's actually going to be, well, yeah, I think we could fit it in, because it would start right here. Yep, it'll start right here. I think we could fit it in. Let's see. Of course, I think it's only the 4. Logistics splitter. Not that close. Thank you very much. And then right here, constructors. Yep, because this takes 120. I cannot believe I haven't run out of materials yet. I'm gotta be honest with you there. I'm literally always just expecting like, oh, just completely ran out. just killing it on this though. Honestly, I'm pretty freaking happy with how quick this is going. All things considered, so that's gonna be 40. Yeah, this can be 1. And then we need a wall right here. And then we want to zoop that over here. Like that, actually, even the fact that we haven't run out of concrete yet is mind-blowing to me. Oh, one zoop too far. And that's iron plates, our second iron plates one done. We probably could have done them right next to each other, but in the end, I mean, it really doesn't matter because it's either going to be an iron plates or that's where the screws are going to be. So we could always leave the space as well if we really wanted to. So now you could actually hold and make it snap to to its own line, which is very beneficial. But at the same time, like if you've just got it lined up like we're looking at here, it should be okay. I say that and almost misaligned it. It's going to require a lot of Mark II belts. A lot of them. But damn if this doesn't look good already. And the fact that it's perfectly efficient, like balanced, for where we are at in the stage right now is huge, in my opinion. All right, how are we looking on time? We're over on time. Let's do a little aerial view of our creation here. So, iron plates, iron rods, screws, additional iron plates. That's how you do a starter factory, super organized with smelting columns down below. They're probably not going to be segregated into rooms like this, but really, really cool, in my opinion, look. And the walls will go up. I want to leave space for windows and doors to come in and out, and then catwalks to be able to traverse without having to jump around as much. So clean lines on the belts. I think it's a cool building, or a cool layout here. And then we'll deal with all of the output coming out. That's a good question. I don't know. I might just filter it and then do a column spine up there for iron or whatever. We'll figure that out. But for right now, I think the iron setup is pretty spot on. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.